Hare Krishna. Okay, we 1 second. We finished the Ramananda Samvad, so I haven't really picked a subject again. So we'll just start the next chapter, Madhya-lila, chapter 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. nānā-mata-grāha-grastān dākṣiṇātya-jana-dvipān kṛpāriṇā. nānā-mata-grāha-grastān. nānā-mata-grāha-grastān dākṣiṇātya-jana-dvipān kṛpāriṇā vimucyaitān gauraś cakre vaiṣṇavān. Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu converted the inhabitants of South India. These people were as strong as elephants, but they're in the clutches of crocodiles of various philosophies, such as Buddhist, Jain, and Māyāvāda philosophy. With his disc of mercy, the Lord delivered them all by converting them into Vaiṣṇavas, devotees of the Lord. Purport: Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is converting the people of South India into Vaiṣṇavas. It's compared herein to Lord Vishnu's delivering Gajendra, the elephant, from the attack of a crocodile. When Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu visited southern India, almost all the residents were within the jaws of the crocodiles of Buddhist, Jain, and Māyāvāda philosophy. Here, Kaviraj Goswami states that although these people were strong as elephants, they were almost in the clutches of death because they were being attacked by the crocodiles of various philosophies. However, just as Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, in the form of Vishnu, saved the elephant Gajendra from the clutches of a crocodile, so he saved all the people of South India from the clutches of various philosophies by converting them into Vaiṣṇavas. Om Agana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmalatamyena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Śrī Caitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaiṣṇavebhyo Namo Namah. Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, greetings from the Shuddha Ayurvedic Hospital. I always wanted to do this kind of punch karma, kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. And last year I got COVID, so I'm back again. And it's a great place. I mean, cultured, organized, beautiful. They cook for me personally without onions and garlic. South Indian food is very, very sattvic. And I know the doctors that are here, and a few of my godbrothers will come. I'll get association. This is the day after. Everybody has a particular nature, karma, how Krishna deals with them. And I'm a terrible traveler. And after I traveled for a day, well, first of all, I got in, I didn't go to bed till midnight. So I didn't have my regular chanting period in the morning. It's like the day after. And for giving class, you know, the preparation is your consciousness. I've already had a lifetime of study. I just have to be able to access it. I call the level of unconscious competence. And that takes somewhat, for me, you know, the mode of goodness. One second. Go. Well, here you might as well also, might as well see my deities. So before I get into class, I learned one thing in speaking is when you have a challenge, and talk about your challenge, because that's what you realized about. Yeah. So I'll just share my realizations of the last few days. I don't know what you call it, but there was something in my stars, or it was Krishna dealing with me in a particular way, where everything went wrong. You know, the day before I left, it was so perfect in Govardhan. Govardhan is really my home. The sadhu atmosphere. Come in. Yes.
How are you?
I'm very good.
Now you are happy.
That was not my idea. That was my friend's idea, but I don't use it very much. Yeah.
Tomorrow's treatment.
Okay, 1 second. The doctors are here.
So tomorrow we are starting the foot massage.
Okay.
Where you will be lying on the floor.
Yeah.
And the therapist will do the massage by his feet.
Oh, yeah. That's a heavy massage. That's good for me. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Okay.
And they're going to continue the Shira for how many days is that?
We are planned for 5 to 7. Let us see.
Okay.
5 days.
Anything else? So nice to see you.
Yeah.
Paul, and you do a wonderful job here.
Thank you.
Okay. Very nice. Got my little paper with my treatment for tomorrow. Such really nice people. So organized. I mean, if you want something, it's so organized. Personal, organized. It's how any center should be run, really. Spotlessly clean, very thoughtful. Even when I came in late at night, they were waiting for me with a garland and flowers, and there was a little lamp, brass lamp, and they gave me something to, you know, that, and the heads of it are Christians. Krishna, along with the Christmas trees, but yeah, and just, you know, all the details are there, and it's so nice. Dinner was there for me on the table when I got in late at night, and it's suitable. Yeah, it's just, and you know, they're designing the treatment for me. He said you're getting the foot. It's not a foot massage, but they have someone hanging from a rope from the ceiling with their feet. It's like a mama therapy. And because I'm not really sick, they're much heavier with me. That's like a very deep massage. Anyway, so let me tell you, just sharing my. So, okay. So the day before I left, I went to this place, Manohar Baba Ashram. It's one of my favorite places in Govardhan. It's very, very secluded. You can hardly get in. Really. And it's just a few sadhus there and great practitioners, Siddha Mahatmas would meditate there. And it's so secluded, even right in Govindakund. And I like to say, I don't go out much. That's my fault. I like to stay in my room, but I was visited by, I would say, a great ISKCON sadhu, Hanuman Prashek Swami. And he's been staying in an ashram a little bit outside of Radhakund. And I asked him if he goes, they say, yeah, twice a day. It's only 9 minutes. And then he shared with me how in Braja, in Vrindavan, you can get bhakti by your eyes. Your senses can take in the images of devotion and invoke your heart. But he said, just walking in Braj is so devotional. So he inspired me to kind of go out a little bit more. So I decided I would just walk there, and I did. And I sat there, and it was the winter. I was bundled up. And evidently, it gets hot out, and I took off my sweater or something. And when I got back to the ashram, I lost one of my hearing aids, which is not good. My hearing is terrible without them. I have one, and I have an old pair, which I'm going to go here and check. All right. I wasn't happy. No one's happy when the world doesn't go their way. So I wasn't happy. But anyway, I think the next day or the day after, or maybe no, that was 2 days before. I prepared in time. I was packed. I was going to go to Delhi and take lunch at this very nice couple. I know the lady, and she in Govardhan. She would cook for me. She's really a housewife, but she chants 64 rounds when she's in Braj. She goes around Govardhan every day, and she'll come back and cook and bring prasadam. Very nice lady. So I was going to go to her house first, take lunch, and then catch my 5 o'clock flight. So I was going to leave at 9 o'clock. And just before 9 o'clock, I get a call from the Ayurvedic hospital that the car is waiting for me. And then I look at my ticket. It said 4:55. I thought it was the afternoon. It was the morning. So, oh my God. And then I called up my travel agent in Braj. He said there's another flight at 3 o'clock on another airline. It was very expensive because it was last minute. And I never had so little room between seats in my life. It was a Malaysian airline. I don't know what that means. And, I got here late at night, and everything was there. And so I had to send an email, and I plugged in my computer, and it doesn't charge. I think it's not a major thing. I think it's just the wire between the plug and the computer or something. But in my mind, I was enjoying, because it's directly Krishna. And Krishna is preventing me from thinking I am the enjoyer and I am the controller, because everything was going my way. And when everything goes your way, you tend to think you're the cause, the doer. So I was kind of chuckling. And, I'm really trying to get trained to be detached. Matras, Sparshas, the Kaunteya, Sitoshna, Sukha, nitya titshasva bharatam. The non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course of time is like the changing of the summer and winter, and one should learn to tolerate. And so I was just thinking, like, everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna, except maybe my stupidity for not putting in my hearing aids. Not for or thing, but what happens? The influence is Krishna, and it's just to keep us in the right consciousness. He's just working on us from different angles to convince us of our position, that we are not the controllers and enjoyers, material enjoyers. We are the servants of Krishna. And therefore, when you have that consciousness, what your environment is shouldn't make too much of a difference, because it's always an opportunity to serve Krishna. And I'm so happy. I was going to leave my deities with a friend in Vrindavan, but I'm so happy I brought Giriraj, and he told me a simple way to worship him, because it's so important to have a relationship with Krishna. And the deities are one way, and it's Govardhan. And where the deity is, the place is. So I feel I'm still living in Govardhan. And also is interesting is, I was going to write this on my Monday morning greetings, but now I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm trying, not to freak out and be the controller and try to get I told the Ayurvedic doctor, if there's an audiologist and if there's a computer shop, but I'm not like motive, passion, pushing it. I'm just trying to do my duty and let Krishna do the rest. But another thing also is, what I was going to write about in my Monday morning greetings is that there's no hard and fast rules about chanting. It's whatever focus or absorbs you the most. And I was going to tell the story of this one hypnotherapist, which I was teaching japa meditation, and they went into trance. I had to leave the room and give them time to get down. But they shared with me that some of the techniques that I was using, and we had a discussion of it's a different goal, but what does altering the consciousness means? It means coming into trance, coming into samadhi. But what does that mean? It means leaving the plane of the material mind, that chatter, which is connected to the false ego, which constantly goes on, my ambitions, my desires, my likes, my love, my revenge, so many things. And you do it by yoga, which means you focus on one object and quell the other thoughts. It alters the consciousness. And when it comes to a point that's completely focused, you become a little bit oblivious to the outside. So what I'm saying is there's no hard and fast rules. So I'm willing to try different things to keep me focused. So someone shared with me something that I was going to write about, where they used to have this technique of meditation before they were devotees, where they read a book where you just chant a prayer or prayers, and you chant them slowly over and over again for 30 minutes. Anyway, the technique, I did that. I did that. Very interesting. The way I did it was interesting. I wake up very early. So I went to the bathroom, washed myself, and then I laid under the covers and just laid on my back before I began chanting, and just began chanting this verse that I wanted to again and again, and meditating on the meaning. And what I saw, what happens is it alters the consciousness. because if you're on that external plane, it's very hard to even hear one mantra completely. So of course, the verse that I was chanting was, one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant constantly. I kept on saying that over and over again and meditating so that it actually becomes imbibed in my consciousness. And anyway, I just kept on thinking of it in different ways. And then I would chant, but it's such an important verse, because when Raghunath Das Goswami, who is the Prayojanacharya, the great teacher for the goal of life, which is that feeling of love for Krishna at the highest level, priti or prema, when he went to Raghunath, when he went to Lord Chaitanya, when he first met him and asked him, how to get love of Godhead, that was the verse that he gave it to him. And there were 4 things. Humility, tolerance, respect, and chanting the name constantly. So it was also a nice meditation, because I saw in my interactions in the world how the mind works against those principles, and therefore works against giving you a foundational consciousness for deeply chanting the holy name and moving towards prema bhakti. I saw it in my dealings with people. Be tolerant. Things that happen to me, be tolerant. Interactions with people, devoid of all sense of false prestige. Interactions with people, give all respect to others. So actually, when this happened to me, these things, I wonder what's going to happen next. When these things happen to me, one should be more tolerant than a tree. One should learn to tolerate. It's just to keep that consciousness on the platform of the soul. Respect, tolerance, humility, devotion. This is very much symptoms of the soul, in a way. It may not be pure manifestations of the soul, but they're definitely soul-like behavior. Anyway, it's a wonderful place with nice people, and spoke to the doctor. I told him my objectives. I said, this is one of my objectives to the doctor. I said, I'm very healthy. Everyone knows that knows me. I have my energy levels but I said, the one thing that I actually worry about is, most people my age, they have restricted diets. I don't. And therefore, although in Govardhan is eating the same thing every day, very simple, but when a feast comes along and Puri, so, I can take it. So I'm worried because I'm not that careful that perhaps I could have heart problems in the future. Because the heart gets clogged up, where people who are sick in other ways and their digestion, that maybe that one, I've thought like that. So anyway, he recommending when I'm here is skip breakfast, intermittent fasting, increases the metabolism, and then he'll give and they grow their own medicines here. I think that's why Bhaktivedanta Goswami picked the place, because their medicines are very potent because they grow them organically themselves. So, yeah. Okay, I had to speak like that to get into the groove. Now the verse, it's still the Madhya-lila, so Lord Chaitanya's traveling. That's what he did in the Madhya-lila. And in his example of his spiritual life and of his sannyasi, he's setting the example of Parivrajak Acharya. The third level of sannyas is when one wanders in the forest. The fourth level is Paramahamsa. You stay in one place and make no endeavor for anything material, and just have that faith that Krishna will send it. And this way, and the other sannyas is Parivrajacharya, you also don't make any endeavor, but you travel. And you, as Prabhupada said in the Gita, you give up your material protective agents. You're not making a platform for earning or protection or food, and you watch how God gives it to you. And of course, Lord Chaitanya is traveling to spread the holy name and to preach. Bharate bhumate hoila manusya janmayara janma sartakakara kara para upakara. People in India are made for that. Bharate bhumate hoila manusya janmayara. Manusya janma, their birth, yara, it's very famous. It's yara, it's fortunate. Bharate bhumate hoila manusya janma sartakakara kara para upakara, and you're meant to work for others. You're meant to work for others. So Lord Chaitanya traveled, and he dealt with nānā-mata. Nāna means nānā, mata I think means the mind. So various types of minds or philosophy. And the people were in trouble in South India because they were strong as elephants, means they had a certain good karma, because the Mughals took over mostly North India. So the culture of South India is much more Brahminical. So that's a strength. But somehow or other, they're caught. And the analogy is the elephant is very strong, but in the water, the crocodile is stronger. And that was the story of Gajendra and the crocodile. So it's like an analogy here that they were caught in this way and they were delivered into Vaiṣṇavas with the disc of mercy. of Lord Chaitanya. He converted them. All these. With his disc of mercy, he made them Vaiṣṇavas. Because Buddhists and Jains, it's not believing in God, I believe. And Māyāvāda certainly. So, Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Sri Advaita Prabhu. All glories to all devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. We should chant this every day, at least, certainly before kirtana, before japa. Sometimes when I chant around, I first meditate on this, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the Sankirtan movement of the Panchatattva. Because we need mercy. Oh, it's so obvious that Prabhupada's mercy is all that we're made of. We don't have a birth with very high samskaras. And we struggle with them. We struggle with them. We just need mercy. And that's our power is our weakness. If it makes us humble, it creates a mood for wanting God. Creates a mood for wanting God. Janmaishvaya Shrita Shribir Edamana Badat Navahat Yabadhaitum by Twam Akinchana Gotra. For those who are intoxicated, Janma by their birth, Aishvarya by their opulence, Shruta by their learning, Shribir by their aristocracy or their trophy of the opposite sex or whatever it is, then they can't chant with feeling. Because feeling means want. And if you're deluded about your position, you don't want help, you want things. You want power, you don't want help. You can't chant from the platform of pride. You have to be in the mood of akinchana. I have nothing. I have nothing. That's why it says in the Bhagavatam, when God is merciful, he takes away. He may give. It means when God is merciful, he can do what he wants, but a lot of times he takes away. I was just speaking on the phone to one person. She's going to help me with the Puriyatra because Madhavananda and Krishna can't come. So she was saying, her husband is overqualified for a job. He's so qualified, he can't get a job. He's brilliant in the field of management and things. He's a pretty good friend of mine. He's brilliant. He can't get a job for 4 years. No, because when I called her up, I said, what about the last job offer? It was his best friend. It was a multi-millionaire. And she said, I can't believe it. He just didn't respond. my husband can offer so much to his new company, and he's consulting him all the time. And he just said, well, I can't just work this consulting work for free. I need to get, and then the guy didn't respond. I can't believe it. She said, I would be so peaceful if my husband got a job. It's gone on for 4 years. And I said, well, maybe, I joke with her. I said, okay, it looks like Krishna wants to give your husband prema bhakti. And I said to her, Krishna didn't give him a better job, but he gave you a better husband. She said, yes, we get along great now. I never thought of it that way. So sometimes Krishna takes away to give himself. And the more we value his self, the less we become disturbed with the different changes in our life. Because that is the real valuable thing, is Krishna, God, and our connection with him and our feeling with him. And if we get that, then we have everything. And if we don't get that, we have nothing. Dakshina Gamana Prabhura Ati Vilakshana Sahasra Tirtha Kaila Darshana. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu tour of South India was certainly very extraordinary because he visited many thousands of places of pilgrimage. Yes, one of the symptoms of Bhava Bhakti is that you want to go to all the places of Krishna's pastimes. You want to go to Kshetra and Tirtha. I think Kshetra is where the Lord performed his activities, and maybe Tirtha is where he appeared. But visiting all these temples, it was strange too, because in Vrindavan, I don't know. I've never liked to leave my room. It's just my eternal nature is I never like to leave my room. Of course I did. I played sports, I did things, but I generally, it wasn't, but when I walked out that day and I went to that, I stopped in this Gaudiya Math, and when I was there was these two Babas with practically like a hut called Chaitanya and Nitai and Chaitanya, and they were disciples of one of Bhakti Siddhanta's disciples. And now there's a beautiful, gorgeous temple. I think the Keshavaji, the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, took it over. So I walked in, and beautiful, and a deity given by Bhakti Siddhanta. Beautiful deities. And then I prayed before the deity. Krishna is there. One friend I have in Vrindavan, he told me he's chanting 5 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. And he has this big Krishna deity. And he said, I'm with Krishna. I don't desire anything else. He's advanced. And then I walked down the road, and there's this old, and I know the Vijaya, this old Dauji. Dauji means the older brother of Krishna. And I went in there. Then I walked further, and I turned into the town of Anayor. And then there's the original deity of Lord Balaram. Thousands of years old. So Lord Chaitanya, many, many, many temples he visited. Say Sabha Tirtha Sparshi Maha Tirtha Koila. Say Chali, say Desera Lokanishtalila. On the plea of visiting all these holy places, the Lord converted many thousands of residents and thus delivered them simply by touching the holy places. He made them great places of pilgrimage. So there's really two types of holy places, one where the Lord appeared and one where the Lord was intensely worshipped. So wherever there was like a great devotee, I felt that, I've been in India for 46 years, and one of those years I got a quit India notice. It was just so heavy. And I was out of Vrindavan for about 6 months. And I used to preach at 26 Second Avenue, and I used to go in from New Jersey. And I would take the PATH train to Fifth Avenue and walk. It was a holy place. 26 Second Avenue is a holy place. Karuna, Purna, and Shalkali, Sri Rupa, a few others. I really like them making a little community there on Fridays. So important for Krishna consciousness. Because it actually in Jaiva Dharma, it explains that the way you move up in devotion is by the quality of your association. So when you start coming into Krishna consciousness and more of your friends become devotees, and your social group of devotees, you start moving from Kanishta to Madhyam. Purport is said, Tirtha Korvanti Tirthani. A tirtha, a holy place, is a place where great saintly persons visit or reside. Although the holy places are already places of pilgrimage, they were all purified by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's visit. Many people go to these holy places and leave their sinful activities there, thus becoming free from contamination. When these contaminations pile up, they are counteracted by the visit of great personalities like Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and his strict followers. Many kinds of patients come to the hospital, which may be infected by many types of diseases. Actually, the hospital is always infected, but the expert physician keeps the hospital sterilized by his expert presence and management. Similarly, places of pilgrimage are always infected by the sins left by the sinners who go there. But when a personality like Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu visits such a place, all contaminations vanish. Say Sabha Tirtira Krama Hoite Na Pari Dakshina Vame Tirtha Gamana Hoya Periferi. I cannot chronologically record all the places of pilgrimage visited by Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. I can only summarize everything by saying the Lord visited all the holy places, right and left, and coming and going. I think this is also with Ramananda Sabhvad, it was mentioned, describing how Lord Chaitanya went. It wasn't exactly like a plan. He moved by his heart. And at that level, the direction of the heart is very, very profound, because at that level, the heart is connected with other hearts. I mean, by the super soul. So he may direct the saintly person to a place to deliver someone. Like Prabhupada went to Russia, and Shyam Sundar met Metarananta Shanti. Last verse. Purvavat pati yaite ye paya darsana ye grama yoya se grama yata jana sabai Vaiṣṇava hoy kohai Krishna kori anye grama nistare se Vaiṣṇava kori. As previously stated, all the residents of the villages visited by Lord Chaitanya became Vaiṣṇavas and began to chant Hare and Krishna. In this way, all the villages visited by the Lord, everyone became a Vaiṣṇava devotee. Purport: the holy names of Krishna and Hare, or the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, are so spiritually powerful that even today, as our preachers go to remote parts of the world, people immediately begin chanting Hare Krishna. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. There cannot be anyone who can compare to him or his potencies. However, because we are following in his footsteps and are also chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the effect is almost as potent as during the time of Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Our preachers mainly belong to European and American countries. Yet by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, they have tremendous success wherever they go to open branches. Indeed, everywhere people are very seriously chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Priti vichi ati yati nagaradi gram. Chaitanya Bhagavat said that Lord Chaitanya spoke, my name will be preached in every town and village. It's so miraculous what Srila Prabhupada has done. It's amazing what he has done. Every town and village. Indradyumna Swami went to Mongolia. Talk about a place that's really out of it, distant. Yeah. Okay, Jamuna Jaya, what point did you appreciate? You could start us off in some.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for a wonderful class. What you began to say at the top of class about travels, there's nothing ever like travels to teach us that we're not in control. And I think the entire world this month with all the disruptions. So I really appreciated that. But then also in this last section about how I like the analogy of the hospital, that people come and they leave their sins behind. And just as a doctor would sterilize the place, the holy person sterilizes the place. That was such a great analogy, because I'm in a hospital twice a week. So I was really thinking about I think about how dirty a hospital floor is, but a doctor cleans it, and how much dirt we leave behind, but that a holy person is so merciful to clean it up for us. So that really resonated with me.
Oh yeah, you can keep these points, and then of course share them sometimes when you get a chance. Okay, thank you.
I will.
I'm really trying to assemble the best kirtaniers for Puri. We really got some great. We really got some great. I think that our 3 Mridanga players will be 1 or 2 days late. So but I brought someone else too. And we have some really wonderful kirtaniers. You ever hear Sundar, Govinda, and Nilambari?
Yes, I've heard of Nilambari.
Yeah, so they're going to come. And their little 5-year-old daughter's being taught by Akinchana Krishna, so she'll do kirtan too.
Oh, sweet.
She's really good. Okay, anybody else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I got a couple things. Yeah, when Lord Chaitanya, he converted the Jains and the Buddhists, is that considered that they got kṛpāriṇā?
Well, I don't know if conversion means perfection.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think conversion means perfection.
Okay, so maybe he just gave them some faith in bhakti yoga, maybe, right?
Yeah, he gave them some faith in Krishna. Who knows if they even, he didn't have an organization, whether they would remain Gaudiya Vaiṣṇavas. They may be, they may have taken to Śrī Vaiṣṇavas, who knows?
Yeah, right.
Even the writer, Krishna-katha, doesn't, he said it's, he's going here and there. He doesn't have a chronology. There's no history of it.
Just one other thing, Maharaj. I've always wondered, the other 5 Goswamis, Raghunath Das Goswami, he saw them as his superiors, Yet
he what?
He saw them as his superiors, his authorities, right?
Yeah.
His gurus. Yet he is the one who we consider the Prayojana Acharya, So I've always wondered about that. Why him?
Well, first of all, disciplic succession. It doesn't, in mood, one always is a fool before their spiritual master. But the purpose of guru is to make gurus. So we can't say that Vishwanath is less than Rupa, or, Bhaktivinoda is less than Vishwanath, or Bhaktisiddhanta is less than, and they all have their speciality. It was a particular service given to them by Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya engaged them in particular ways. But particularly because of Raghunath Das Goswami's, life and his renunciation and everything, he gave him that service of Prayojana. Rupa and Sanatan, they were in Vrindavan. They were incredibly busy clearing out forests, making roads, building temples, collecting books and libraries. And they still wrote many, many books, but somehow Raghunath got that. I don't think it's a surprise.
But what was it about his life? What was it about his life, that makes him Prayojana?
Well, they're all Prayojana. He just became the teacher of it. I think because of his life, because he stayed in one place and chanted all day. That's why
Haridas Thakur was also, he did.
Okay. Haridas Thakur didn't write books.
Okay.
Doesn't mean he wasn't,
Yeah.
And Haridas Thakur also wasn't necessarily a Radha Krishna Bhakta.
Really?
I'm not sure. He was Lord Brahma and Prahlad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's Prayojana in every way. And they all had their different services. Raghunath Bhatt was how to recite the Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami to become the greatest scholar. Sanatana Goswami and Rupa to excavate the holy places. And Lord Chaitanya gave so many services to Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami was the guru of all the others. Guru is the channel by which Krishna speaks to one. So it's possible that a disciple even could surpass his guru in one sense, but the guru still remains the channel for him. Okay, Gail. Hi, well.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna, Gumaraj, Tota Gopinath here. So glad you made it down there.
Yeah. It took me all day.
Yeah.
It took me 12 hours to get to my destination. Wow. Yeah. But I just channeled my sleeping potency. Mm-hmm. I could sleep or not sleep. I chose to sleep.
That makes it easy.
In the car ride, a little bit. Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Narmasaki here.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you for the class.
Yeah, must see you soon. Okay, I will. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much. This is Krishna-katha. First, I was so much afraid that you said you were in the hospital, but then you said that it was because of...
It's actually an Ayurvedic, it's called an Ayurvedic hospital, but it's just a beautiful, it's like, I can't say it's a resort. It doesn't have a swimming pool. It's not by the ocean. But they're very clean and function, beautiful rooms with open courtyards and, simple treatment rooms and an open air dining hall. Yeah, so it's not, no, I'm not sick.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
I was very much impressed by the meditation on the third poem of Shikshashtaka before japa. I'll try to do it while telling us. So it was strong impression. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Haribo. Great to see you. Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Thank you for your class. Thank you very much.
Amala, Hare Krishna. Jai. Maybe we'll see you in India in the next few years.
Wow. I hope. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Haribo. Good.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. This is Nilambari. Hare Krishna.
Oh, did you attended the class today?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna everyone.
Haribo.
Yes, I attended the class and I really like the point how you see the problems as a blessings of Krishna, because thus he shows you that, we're not controllers and enjoyers. I really like that.
It's tough. It's not easy. And my tests are like really small. I'm not, it's not like terminal disease or something like that. But anyway, we're practicing to face life. Okay, great that we saw you on, and we'll see you in Puri. We'll have a great time. Good. Anybody else?
Yes. All right, welcome, Raj.
Hi, Krishna.
Thank you for class.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Are you taking a little hiatus because of the cold from the Friday?
There was a wisdom of the sages thing, right? That's why we did it.
Oh, okay. So
we're having one this Friday.
Oh,
you're gonna have one this.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have one this Friday, huh?
Yeah.
What was the menu last time that you had the program?
Oh, what did we have?
Rice and dal.
We had rice and dal
salad.
And salad, and Śrī made focaccia. We have so much. It's really just.
It's too much.
So
okay, and Yaso comes now
cooking.
sometimes too, right? Yaso comes sometimes. He's in California.
Yeah.
I think
I haven't seen Yaso in like 20 years.
It's so lovely to see him. There's always a surprise guest. It's really nice, but it was really great to see him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
we'll see you guys in Govardhan, right?
Yes,
yeah, we're so excited.
So.
Okay, I will.
But your class gave me anxiety.
Vikram's going to be helping. What's that?
No, your class gave me a little bit of anxiety because everything goes wrong when we travel too.
What's that?
Everything goes wrong when we travel too. So now give me a little bit.
Okay. All right.
But hopefully we'll get there.
Okay. Haribo.
Thank you for class, Mirage. It was enlightening.
Okay. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Gumaraj, it's welcome Govinda. Thank you for class.
Yeah, I went to Raghunath's kid's birthday celebration. I didn't know that's No, I couldn't. He invited me, so I went there. It was a kirtan and prasad, you know. So he's preparing my room.
Oh, nice.
And your room too. Okay. Haribo. Okay, anybody else?
Haribo Maharaj. Thanks for class.
Hey, Reed, how's your place there?
Oh, it's really great. It's on like a organic farm, and it's the doctor is a devotee, so it's really nice.
The doctor is a devotee of what?
Not she's a Vaiṣṇava, but it's on a different branch. I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you get any treatment yet?
Steam or oil massage and a steam.
Okay.
The steam box where they put you in.
Oh, those are intense. Yeah, interesting. Okay. And facilities are okay?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Right on a river. Really nice place.
Can you swim on the river?
No, there's crocodiles.
Oh. Oh, what a drag. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, here they're going to, because I'm healthy, they do the mama massage hanging with the rope. Like with the very intense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Haribo, we'll see you in Govardhan, I guess. Okay, Haribo.
Haribo.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, I'm going to go now. Okay, Haribo, Vanchakalpa, Taribhya, Chakra, Pasindu,